Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome back to On Writing. If we haven't met before, I'm a writing coach, and today I'm telling you a little bit about my current work in progress. It's a contemporary novel that I first started in NaNoWriMo 2021. Yikes. I'm only now this year committed to actually finishing it. Good morning. It's Friday, March 22nd and 7:09 a.m. You know, sometimes you have months where you don't write as much, and that's one of these months because I have been working on my business quite a lot and figuring out other resources that I can provide. So that's just been taking up an incredible amount of time. But here we are today, getting back at it. I've been reading through my first 7 chapters, and it's hard to do this without editing, so I'm trying not to edit. But I figure if I notice things that could be taken out, why not just circle them? But basically what I want to see is it flowing already? Are there any big things that I've missed in connecting one chapter to the next? One thing I will say about having a detailed outline is that when I take a break from writing, or when it just, I get too busy and I haven't written in a couple days or whatever, I don't have the same feeling of, oh my gosh, when I sit down to write again, I'm just gonna, I have no idea where I'm gonna be in the story, and I've forgotten everything that happened already, and yada yada. Nope, there's none of that anymore. Let me get to it, and I'll see you next time. So I'm wrapping up for the day. It's March 22nd, and I got through chapter 5 in terms of rereading and just seeing where the story is at and whether all the pieces are there. As I'm rereading, I'm thinking that I'm writing a little bit too fast. I don't know if it's a huge deal right now, but I've noticed that I'm moving through the story pretty quickly. She's having a lot of fast thoughts, my main character. But that's just one thing I've noticed. So I'm gonna kind of keep that in the back of my mind. I'm gonna get through 2 more chapters tonight before I go to sleep, and then I can start writing again, which is the most exciting part. So, okay, that's my update. I'll talk to you later. What I will say helped the most in this time was my outline. I have so much detail in it. It's not every single detail I could ever possibly imagine, but it's detailed enough that when I take time off from writing, or I'm not writing every day, when I go back to write, I can look at my outline, and instead of having to reread 10 chapters and figure out where I was again, I can just read the summaries of the outline, the summaries of each chapter in my outline, and figure out immediately where I'm at in the story, what time of year it is, what day it is, where my character is at, where they need to go in this next chapter, and it has saved my life. It is so much easier to pick up when time has gone by, which makes it a little bit easier to take more time off in between writing sessions, but it doesn't cause me as much anxiety as it used to. So, highly recommend. If you want to know how to outline your novel like mine, get in touch with me. We can talk about getting you in my program. All right, excuse my shower hair. Today is March 28th, and I am going to be working on my novel today. I'm writing today, just for a few hours this morning, I think. Let me just pull up where I'm at. Should have done this before. My editor is standing by. Today, I think I'm working on chapters 9 and 10. So let me just walk you through what those chapters are in terms of story structure. Chapter 4 is the catalyst, and then chapters 5 through 7 are the debate. And so by chapter 8 and 9, she's decided, okay, fine, I'll go down this path. I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna do it my way, she thinks. As I get further along, I don't know if I can keep rereading the whole story of what I've written so far, so I might just do the chunks of chapters 1 through 7, chapters 8 through 16, chapters whatever. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on today, is chapters 9 and 10, finishing up those, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, before I jump into that though, I also want to give you a little glimpse into my outline so that you know how beneficial it is to outline like this, at least how beneficial I have found it. So maybe it'll help you as well. So let me just show you what that looks like. Okay, I'm doing the lovely record my screen type of deal. Okay, so let's say I'm picking up at chapter 11, and it's been a little while since I last visited my story, so now I just know, okay, so this is the main goal of the chapter. We have to introduce the side character. This is what I need to show in order for the plot to keep moving on, maybe a couple of other things. I can trust that everything that came before it has led up to this because I've outlined every chapter this way. And now all I have to do is go like this, add a couple spaces here, and just start writing the story underneath it. So honestly, it has changed my life writing this way. So I hope it's helpful for you to see a little bit of it as well. Hello. Okay, it's Thursday, April 11th, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I have been stuck on chapter 9 for weeks. Granted, I haven't been working as diligently on it as I probably should, but the issue is I had basically this chapter written beforehand, but I've been trying to put it back into this new outline and hope that it fits well. And I really need to rewrite the whole chapter, but I don't want to rewrite it because it just feels so icky to me to have to rewrite 2,000 words that I've already written. You know what I mean? So it's just a complete mental block. It's a mental thing. It's not an actual problem, but it's just been keeping me stuck. So today's the day. I'm going to just spend the next hour and we're going to figure out chapter 9 because we have to move on. We got to keep it cranking. So wish me luck. Update for you. It's been less than 20 minutes and I finished chapter 9. So that just goes to show you that mental blocks are silly because all this time in my head, I was like, oh, chapter 9 is going to be so hard to figure out. I'm going to have to rewrite thousands of words. It's blah, blah, blah. I didn't have to do any of that. I just had to like cut and paste some things out that I've already changed, move some of the old scene back like down somewhere where I could keep it as a reference, but it's not in this chapter. Man, that took me like 15 minutes. So if you're feeling any kind of mental block these days, just give it a go. Just sit there, put a timer on. Don't judge what you're doing. Did I write the perfect chapter? No. Are there things that are going to need to be changed later in revisions? Yes. But just try something. That is my note for you today. Learn from me and do better. The other thing that I really took away from these 2.5, 3 months is working on the middle of the story. And I think a lot of writers would agree that the middle is kind of the hardest part to write. Where I went wrong was I tried to incorporate old scenes that I had written prior to in NaNoWriMo and bring those in because they were somewhat similar in terms of what was going on in the chapter. And I realized that I really shouldn't do that. In doing that, it just made inconsistencies in what I had written based on my new outline. And so that made it really hard for me to just keep the flow going because now it was like, oh, well, her voice sounds really different now. So now I have to go and edit. So that just threw me for a loop and I was like spending way too much time trying to rework these old scenes. So eventually we just tossed that. So that is really the main update for March, April, and May. I swear I have spent this entire time working on chapters 9 through 12, and sometimes it just be that way. In January, February, I wrote 9 chapters, and March, April, May, I've just been stuck on these 3, but part of that is not having a lot of time, and part of it is getting stuck in trying to make things fit that don't fit. And I would give that advice to you as well. Sometimes we have scenes in our head that we're like, oh, this is definitely gonna make it into the story. I love this scene. It's so fun. It shows off a great side of my character. It's really mysterious, whatever it is. But sometimes we try to force the story around that scene instead of creating our scenes around the story and creating scenes to serve the story. If you're holding all your scenes with a tight grip, it's gonna be really hard to change things. And you have to get creative and change things every now and then. That's what I've learned in the last few months of writing. I'm really excited to get into the heart of the story with these middle chapters. I think despite my desire to hurry up and finish the thing and get to the end, I think these chapters are really going to be the richest of the story. And so I want to give them time to really do what they need to do. Tell me how you're doing with your current novel. What are you working on? Where are you at in the process? And again, if you want to learn my outlining method and take that course from me, let me know, and I will see you next time. Happy writing.